Hello and welcome to episode 22 of Tragic 2 podcast. It's Dan and Sursh here with you. And I suppose what's rare is wonderful, Sursh.
Yes, it is.
And we had a bit of a the weekend. So we record these on a Monday. So the weekend that has just been was a bit meh weather-wise.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
Somehow every time we go to record these episodes, it's like El Scorchio outside. It's like we're in Spain. But in the meh was kind of some lovely sunshine, and you took full advantage of said sunshine with...
Now you're saying what's good is rare.
Yeah. No, sorry, what's rare is good.
Sorry, what's rare is good.
Yeah.
Same thing. But this isn't rare. We're not talking about rarity.
Oh, okay.
The timing is rare.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
But the thing isn't. Do you get me?
This is what you do all the time.
This is one of my hobbies, actually.
Yeah.
This is one of my pastimes. So I did some day drinking yesterday.
Yeah.
Which I'm really proud of. I'm really excited about because I woke up very fresh.
I haven't done day drinking in ages.
That's because you don't have friends with loads of children.
Jesus, I thought you were going to say it's because you don't have any friends.
You don't have any friends to go with, okay?
Holy shit, she's fucking attacked right off the mark.
You're friends with me. Okay.
Actually, the last time I went day drinking was with you on Patrick's weekend when we recorded this podcast.
It was, and it was brilliant. We had a great time.
We were fucking sloshed.
Except we drank into the night, which
yes.
You're supposed to stop at some point. But yeah, so I have lots of friends with lots of little kids, and they never have time to go out.
Yeah.
Which is totally fine.
Yeah.
But they also like to have the crack.
Yeah.
So one friend in particular was like, I haven't been away from my kids ever. Never. Like she's literally with them 24/7.
What age are the kids?
1.5 and 5 months old.
Okay.
So they're little kids.
So it's probably been about a good 2 or 3 years since she's had a woo.
Yeah. I mean, actually, after she had the first baby was shortly after my birthday was shortly after that.
Yeah.
She came on a night out with me. And let's say she had a great time. But I think since then...
But because like pregnancy and, all the rest...
of course. Yeah, she's been very good. Yeah. And then, she had to do night feeds and whatever. She's still in that. Mm-hmm. So she's like, I can't go out after 8 o'clock. She's in bed at 8 o'clock every night. She's like, if I don't sleep then, I will turn delusional.
And how did she get away from kiddies?
Boyfriend, husband, fiance. Fiance, they're not married yet. Fiance stepped in and the internet was down as well. Which I don't think he was.
Oh, that would have been a nightmare.
Yeah, so
you can't turn on Peppa Pig.
No. Although maybe you could do it on his phone. I don't know.
Oh.
Anyway, no, I don't even think they like Peppa Pig at that age. They're not even there yet. Their attention span is so small that they can't sit still watching anything for longer than 5 minutes.
So that was fair.
Anyway, it's Miss Rachel is this new thing.
Miss Rachel.
Not important. But anyway, I got my friend out. She came to mine, but she didn't just want tea. She didn't want to just chat.
Oh no,
she was
like straight into a bottle of wine.
Yeah. So we walked down to O'Brien's. I think it was just after midday and got 3 bottles of wine. Right. The guy was like, clearly looking at us going, are you well? Like, what are you guys doing with 3 bottles of wine at midday? So she proceeded to say that we'll get 2 bottles of rosé and then 1 bottle of red to go with our takeaway.
Okay. Right. That's a good plan.
Now, we did not get through that red bottle of wine, which is probably a good thing.
Okay, so you got through the rosé. You got through the rosé pretty handy.
Yeah, but we were rushing back and...
Red wine after rosés would be pretty heavy though, wouldn't it?
I'd say it would have been. But we sat there and we drank 2 bottles of rosé at 1 o'clock in the day. Ideal. And she was gone and all by 7:30 and I was in bed at 9:10. Slept a full night.
I had a Heineken 0-0 watching the football. That's how...
Well, you're shit crack.
Yeah.
But yeah.
No, I'm not shit crack. Sorry, I agree with you.
Can we bring back day drinking?
Oh,
can we bring it back?
Can we please?
I know people do it on holidays and stuff and it's acceptable.
I've spent the better part of the last 2 years working a pattern where I have my afternoons free.
So why don't you day drink?
I know.
Okay, let's not be an alcoholic here.
Always broke. Always drink responsibly.
Always drink responsibly. We're not talking about drinking every day. But I do think that if you go on a Saturday night, wild night out, even if I was to have a bottle of wine.
You need to start early in the day.
I'd be dead on Sunday.
Oh, you would be, yeah.
I'd be dead today.
Yeah.
It's the lack of sleep. So I think she has it down to a T.
I hosted a barbecue recently. Now that the day that was in it, it was absolutely hammering down rain.
Yes.
And I had spent so much money on food and so much money on drink that I was like, I'm not letting the rain fucking spoil this barbecue. So they're all like, so are we on? Are we off? And I'm like, no, we're on. And you know my back garden's a gazebo and whatever. And I found in the shed 2 umbrellas to put up. So I had them over the barbecue. I had the gazebo. I had the little patio heater yoke.
Like you do have an oven inside, like.
I do have an oven inside as well, but barbecue had to go on.
Rain, hail, shine, didn't matter.
There was umbrellas over me. I was grand.
I saw the pictures.
Yeah. And we had a fucking fantastic day. That was the last time I went day drinking. I started at 1:30 anyway. And went right through till midnight.
Yeah, you see, you have to stop.
And I couldn't stop.
It's when you can't stop, then you're just fucked the next day.
Once you pop, you can't stop.
You just can't stop. Well, look, I mean, when you have kids hanging there, she was like, it's not worth it. If I stay any later, I won't be able to get up tomorrow and I'll have to get up and it's not worth it. I'm going home. So we stopped. But I'm just saying,
she went
fresh
home.
as a daisy.
Yeah,
I think we should all do that.
The next day I was dead to the world.
But would you, right, if nightclubs turned to day clubs, would you go?
There has been discussion about this.
There has, yeah.
There has been. They're talking about, having 1 or 2 day clubs for, people who have, patterns where they would finish and have all day free and can go to clubbing during the day.
Because like even if you didn't have kids like us, I still would prefer to have...
But what would that look like though?
But you get to go home and go to bed at a reasonable time. I know that's very sad to say, but when you get into your 30s, that's what you kind of want to do.
Old people clubs.
Old people clubs. You have fun during the day. You're boring at night.
In bed by 10:30 in your jammies ready to go.
Yes. Oh, I think that would just be life-changing. I think everyone would be on board for that.
Yeah, fair. Okay, let's get a campaign going to get that started.
Yes, we could start that.
Yeah.
Okay.
But of
Your
course,
garden
always
is
drink
first.
responsibly. My garden.
Yeah. We don't even care about if it's raining. You're going to put the umbrellas up.
Oh, yeah.
We'll day drink, but we need to leave.
Oh, yeah, we didn't care. And the sun eventually came out and it was gorgeous.
Yeah.
It was absolutely gorgeous. And there was something actually quite romantically Irish about sitting in my back garden eating a burger in the lashing of rain.
That's what I was going to say to you. How Irish, no matter what, you were just
I was determined.
dead set on having that barbecue.
Determined.
Yeah.
I was not going to let that destroy it. Everybody was texting me going, yeah, it's a bit rainy. And I'm like, no, you're coming.
At least they did arrive.
Oh, they did.
There's
No, and it was
way
a
I
great
would've
day.
gone. Yeah.
Great day.
No. Anyway, so that is our eventful weekend.
Day
drinking
drinking is fun, but responsibly.
Yeah.
And be fresh the next day. So this week we are going to just completely change tack, and we are going to talk celebrities.
Yeah, I was like, how can I bring a celebrity into that? Did I ever have a celebrity in my house?
In your house at a barbecue?
No, I never did. I wish I did, but I didn't. Celebrity, yeah, like we're talking obviously people that we've met, people we've heard stories about. I mean, you're in the line of work where you would have met a lot of sportsmen.
Yeah.
Or people.
Sports
I say
people
sportsmen, but like I know you've got many stories to do with certain people, and they just happen to be male. But yeah, or like famous singers.
Yeah, so I had a good think about this because, as you said, like I've spent the better part of 10 years as a sports journalist. Like all sports people are just tend to be who I've been around. I haven't really been around the sort of entertainment circuit, but earlier on in my career, before I got into being a sports journalist, I was doing a college work placement in another radio station. And at the end of the week, they sent me to the Meteor Awards.
Ooh,
do you remember the Meteor Awards?
I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At the RDS.
Who did you see?
So this was in 2009.
Yeah.
And I think they sent me and another dude that was there on the placement. The station's breakfast show was up for best radio show.
Oh yeah.
Dermot, Dave, and Siobhan. So I was sent in the event that they won their award to interview them and, do all the bits, but also to be on the red carpet as people are arriving and going, oh, hi, how are you?
Now,
and
that
what are you
just
doing?
embarrasses me now, right? Okay, it is Ireland.
Yeah. Oh, I know.
The red carpet. Like,
the red
Jesus.
carpet.
But yeah.
No, sorry. It was because it was Meteor. It was the orange carpet.
Thankfully. Okay.
Orange carpet.
Yeah.
So So I'm standing with all the other sort of journalists and entertainment hacks and, you know, all of that sort of stuff. And, you know, people as they're wandering in, and half of them, I had no fucking idea who they were. So much so that I actually had to write some of their names down. Oh, that's so
embarrassing. So you were interviewing them and you had to actually stand there and go...
Amanda Byram stopped at me.
I hate to say...
And at the time, I hadn't a fucking clue who Amanda Byram was.
I don't know why I know her as well. Do you know Expose, that show from back in the day? She was always on that show, and that's how I know her. But again, she's not famous.
No, she's not. Let me try and...
But did she think she was?
But yeah, like she was on...
Oh, that's just so... Yeah.
It was terrible. So there was Amanda Byram. Enrique Iglesias was there, right?
So you had Amanda Byram, the Irish...
I knew who Enrique...
Are we talking about the same person here? The Irish...
Yes. Yeah.
And then the most beautiful man in the world, Enrique Iglesias.
So there's a story about him, right?
Did you write him?
Didn't ride Enrique Iglesias.
I don't know what you're going to say there. I was like, now I'm jealous. Tell me more.
I haven't kept this story from you for like a decade.
Okay, go on.
So I'm just... Actually, Nancy Cartwright was there. You know, the voice of like Bart Simpson and, you know, all of those. Now,
Legend.
I didn't get to talk to her, but I saw her on the runway. On the
orange carpet.
On the orange carpet. And there were people like Brendan Courtney and Liam Cunningham and, you know, like
so embarrassing.
Boyzone were there. This was actually the year before Stephen Gately died.
Okay.
So all of Boyzone were there. Dave Fanning. Porrick Harrington. Now, right, so here's story number one, right? Porrick Harrington.
Golfer guy.
The golfer guy, yeah. One of my sporting heroes. I love the man, right? And he's still hitting it large in the state. He's on the senior tour and he's still as fucking brilliant a golfer as he was before.
So wait, in golf, is it shooting it into a hole? Like, what's it called? Like the swinging? You swing it into a hole. What is it? Just out of curiosity. You know when they have the...
I'm going to let you try and explain this as much as you can.
Okay, I'm a news broadcaster now. So they get the
stick.
What is it called? The golf stick.
The golf club.
The golf club.
Yeah.
And they shoot it.
Well, you hit the ball. Yeah.
You hit the ball into the hole.
Yeah. You put like on the green. You put. Well, a hole in one. Yeah.
Okay.
But not everybody gets a hole in one.
But you're putting the ball.
Yeah, when you're on the green. So you start like way back and you have your golf club and bang, and you have to, you know, hit it into the middle of the fairway and then try and get it onto the green where you have to put the ball and that's where it goes into the hole.
I always wanted to know what that was called. You know that I ask you sports questions about rugby and stuff. I just needed to know. Okay, we're there. Okay.
That hot thing where they dive on the line.
That's the rugby.
So Porrick Harrington was there and I was going, oh my God, I have to get an interview with Porrick Harrington. So, Porrick, and he was walking over, so everybody was going, oh, Porrick, and I'm like, no, he's mine. And so I was trying to reach in my microphone, get your microphone out of my way. And I got him and he came over to me and I was like, oh, thanks for stopping, Porrick. And so immediately I blanked.
Oh no.
I hadn't a fucking... So why are you here? And
you did not ask him why he was there.
Not just blank out on Porrick Harrington, my fucking sporting hero. I completely blank. I just got so starstruck that I didn't know what to say.
And do you know what's really sad? He probably thought he doesn't have a clue about golf or anything about me.
Hasn't a fucking breeze. And I'm like, I wanted to ask him about his majors. I wanted to ask him what he was going to do next. But my mouth went all dry and I couldn't speak.
And then there's probably other people shouting over you then.
And like there were people looking at me and he's kind of looking and he's sort of like edging away from me. I'm like, please don't go. I have questions.
And did he leave?
Yeah.
Oh, he left. So you got nothing?
I didn't get the interview, Porrick Harrington. I was devastated. I was devastated.
And you were sober?
Sober as a fucking judge, yeah.
That is so tragic.
Yeah.
Oh, there's nothing worse. There's nothing worse.
And I remember, like, there were journalists, because, like, obviously, like, I'm only, like, a college, like, I'm not even working for the station.
You were just totally caught off guard, probably.
Totally caught off guard. And there were people looking at me going,
and starstruck.
What's up with him?
You're probably, like, I see you on the TV all the time. Shooting your
ball.
You should have said that. How are you? And you're shooting balls.
You shot your balls well. God in heaven.
Porrick,
Porrick, if you do see this, I mean, like,
you probably do the same thing again.
I'd love to interview you at some point.
Imagine you did the same bloody thing again and you were like, do you know what? And he's like, Dan, I don't have all day. I have to leave. Go home.
I was completely starstruck. I didn't know what to say to the man. And I went, that is tragic. So like, I didn't really get to properly speak to people.
Yeah.
I was just, mic was in and then you chopped up whatever bit of audio and sent it back. So then you go into this. So they all go into the main arena. There's this media room that we have to hang back in and fucking watch on the screens. And then they come as they win awards and they come into this big hall and the press conference kind of thing sort of set up. And, you have your mic there. So Dermot, Dave and Siobhan ended up winning the thing. I had to go and interview them separately, obviously, because it was for the radio station. So I'm there thinking, okay, maybe this is an acceptable thing to do, to pull people aside and get them for interview after the press conference. So Enrique, story number 2.
But like, what would you have been there to interview Enrique about? Like, I know sports related stuff, but fair enough. Was it just anything?
Anything.
Okay.
Anything
That's
at all.
harder though. That's harder.
For the radio station, like, oh, well, like, because he won an award. Oh, well done, congratulations, you've won whatever.
Yeah, but you'd have to know his music really
biggest
well.
Ride of the Year award, whatever he won. But I did know his music though.
Yeah, okay, fair.
And like I was really into my music. No, I still am into my music. But like I knew absolutely everything about him at the time. So he came in and there were people asking him about the award and what his next single was and albums and blah, 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 what he loves about Ireland, because you have to fucking throw that in. So then I sort of let it happen. Like the microphone was up on the table. And then when he was finished, I took the microphone and as he stood up, I went to pull him aside and go, oh, can I have a quick word for 98? And his people rushed to me.
Oh?
Rushed to me to back me the fuck off.
You had a horrible time.
I had a horrible time. I was like, what's going on? I was like, I only want to speak to Enrique, and they're pulling him away. No. And I'm like, no.
Oh.
I'm like, this is not a great first day.
Maybe you need to stop interviewing celebrities. Just leave it at that. You tried, you failed. It's fine.
So that's when I got into sport. No, so I was like, oh my God, Park Harrington, I totally blank out in front of, and they think I'm trying to assault Enrique Iglesias.
You probably were though.
I wasn't.
Was he gorgeous in person?
I was.
Yeah, you see. God. But I remember going to the World Music Awards, speaking of gorgeous people. Beyonce was there. Her sister was there. And they were performing right beside us. I don't know how we managed to get tickets, right? My dad managed to get tickets somehow. But it was a very small group of people. So everyone was up close and personal. And it was 2006, maybe 7.
Okay.
So, Estelle was huge at that stage. Akon.
Oh, yeah.
Remember... Oh, what was that TV show? The Gardener. The Hot Gardener.
The Hot Gardener?
Yes. And everybody fancied him. Jesse Metcalfe.
Oh, you've lost me there.
Desperate Housewives.
Desperate Housewives, yes. Desperate Housewives. So he was there. And he was, every girl fancied him. Anyway, so we were having dinner and then there was a drinks reception. So they were all around. Now I was drinking a lot of alcohol that was free at the time. And I went over to Akon. And again, I wasn't there to interview this guy. I just was starstruck and was like, I need to talk to him. But I also didn't want to just ask him for a picture. So this is a true story. I went over and said, Akon, why are you so lonely?
Oh my God. Oh, Sursh. Oh no.
At which point he looked at me up and down and was like...
And then you were in your head, lonely.
Yes, pretty much. And then I was like, can I get a picture? Which I got a picture. I will show you. I will share the picture of me with Akon where he's backing away from me a little bit. But how embarrassing is that? Who does that?
You.
Me? Why do I do that? Anyway, why am I so
lonely?
Embarrassing? That's not what you say. You were in a we managed to get some private function with them. You're meant to act cool.
Yeah.
Cool, calm, collected. That is not what I was. I just couldn't believe they were right in front of me.
Well, you had that same, sort of similar experience with
in the airport?
Mr. Flashy Feet.
No, I'm talking about the air. Oh, Michael Flatley. I told that
when
story,
you cried.
of course.
Yeah.
But the airport as well. I think it was 2007.
Mm-hmm.
That was when Black Eyed Peas, the Black Eyed Peas were playing here, and they were huge.
They were massive. Yeah.
Massive. So I don't know where they were playing. I didn't actually go see them, but we were going to the States the next day after they played Dublin, and they were in the airport and we were in the airport.
I love
and I
this
was
story.
like, oh my God, this is so cool. Went up to Fergie because she's so hot. And I was like, can you just, back then, sign this piece of paper, please? And it actually was a picture of her because I got it from a magazine from a shop. She said to me, now, I thought this was a bit strange. She just said, where did you get that magazine? And I was like, that shop. And she just walked off.
Oh no.
I was like, love you.
She was
bye.
like,
She didn't give a shit
where'd you
about
get
me.
that picture?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
she was
terrible.
like,
That's terrible.
I was only
Fergie.
16. It was awful. But anyway, we sat back down. I couldn't believe like Will.i.am was there and everybody was there. And so my mom was queuing up for food. It was in the restaurant part. And I was like, oh my God, she's talking to Will.i.am. I could see her talking. Oh God. I was like, everybody
Did she know who he was?
over. So we had told her, we were like, I cannot believe the Black Eyed Peas are here. And she was like, who are they? And I was like, they're the biggest band ever. And so anyway, she's there talking to Will.i.am. She comes back and she's like, oh, I'm after paying for his food, right? Now,
shut up. Fucking what?
he didn't have any euro left. He only had dollars. So she was like, oh no, I'll get this. And I was like, oh my God, he loves us now because we're after paying for his food.
Your mom paid for Will.i.am's food.
My mom paid for his food, yeah. And we thought this was great. And she was like, oh yeah, well, I turned around and said, my kids love the Green Eyed Chilli Peppers.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
And we went, what? And she was like, I told them that you all love the Green Eyed Chilli Peppers. She literally got the Red Hot Chili Peppers mixed up with the Black Eyed Peas and called them the Green Eyed Chilli Peppers. And of course he said nothing, but she was like, we were like, what the hell? Like, when you're 16.
Dying of embarrassment.
She was like, oh, that's why he looked at me strange. Oh, I've never been so ashamed and embarrassed in my life.
Oh, the Green Eyed Chilli Peppers.
The Green Eyed Chilli Peppers.
That's what we're calling this episode.
Has your mother ever done that to Will.i.am?
No. She certainly has never paid for Will.i.am's food or called them the Green Eyed
That's
Chilli Peppers.
probably why he said nothing. He was like, do you know what? She paid for my food. I'll let her off. But what is she on? What drugs is this woman on? The Green Eyed Chilli Peppers.
Oh,
I mean, it's a great
hilarious.
name. If they ever want to team up like, Mac Busted or something. The Green Eyed Chilli Peppers. Anyway, that was a very funny story. But probably the biggest, I say, claim to fame was when I went to the States, right? So I was going out with a guy who was acting at the time here, had a pretty successful TV show, and he was meant to be meeting this American agent. So we were going to LA for 2 weeks. I was like, this is amazing. Let's go. So we were roughing it up really. And we stayed in this hotel and had a few drinks one night, and there was a band playing in the hotel. And me being drunk shouted, play U2. Letting everybody know the Irish are here. Yeah, would I ever ask for U2 any other time? No, never. Couldn't care less. So anyway, they played U2, and then afterwards they came over and they were like, oh, you're Irish. Why are you here? We explained why we're here. One of the guys in the band said, oh, that's crazy. You're into acting. I have a friend who's an actor. Do you want to come by? He's having a house party tomorrow, but there's only going to be like 6 of us there. So we were like, this is a bit weird. Like, why? Okay, sure. We don't know who he is, but great. Anyway, Facebook was the big thing then. He added us on Facebook and sent us a message saying, so this is the location. It was in the Hollywood Hills, massive house. We checked it out on Google Maps. We were like,
it existed.
That's weird. Who's your friend? And he was like, oh, have you heard of Jeremy Renner? And we were like, as in like Jeremy Renner, like as in A-list celeb Jeremy Renner, DC Marvel films. I was like, no. So,
Jeremy Renner.
So I said to my boyfriend, I was like, this is clearly a setup. We are going to die. Let's not go there. And he was like, but what if it's true? I was like, it's not true. It can't be true. Why would they? Why would they want us there? No idea. So anyway, the next day we were like, will we go? Will we not go? We ordered an Uber. Told the Uber driver, we were like, this is the story. Does this sound real? And he was like, no, I'm going to be dead honest. I've never heard of that happening ever. He was like, look, I'll drive you up there and I'll wait. because
you
know you're probably going to get robbed.
Escape. Oh wow,
you're going to get robbed, whatever. So anyway, these big gates open. We drove right up that hill, right? This massive house. So we're driving in. Someone had opened the gates. We walk up to the door. Stone Cold Steve Austin opens the fucking door.
Shut the
Stone Cold Steve Austin. I nearly fell on the fucking
I'm not
floor.
Stone Cold Steve Austin.
He stood there and opened the motherfucking door. Him and his wife were standing there. It wasn't his house, by the way. Him and his wife standing there, and we're like, come in. At this point, the driver was like, bye. We walked in. Jeremy Renner's in his kitchen, greeted us. Hello. Like, I have a photo to prove this because
I'm still stuck on Stone Cold Steve Austin here.
It was me, my boyfriend, Jeremy Renner, Stone Cold Steve Austin, his wife, and the guy that invited us. There was 6 people all in all at this house. We walk in, we go out to the back, we're having some drinks. I am sweating. He is sweating. We are trying to act really cool because we're there because my boyfriend...
Because you're with fucking Stone Cold Steve Austin.
He's trying to be an actor, but we're like, let's not be lick asses and trying to get pictures of them. Now, they watched us like a hawk with our phones. Like, they were like, if they take out those phones, they're getting out of here. We played it very cool. Then Jeremy was like, oh, I have this studio at the back and I'm a musician. Do you want to hear some of my stuff? We walk out the back into this room. Jeremy Renner is playing his guitar. Stone Cold Steve Austin is sitting where you are, across from me and my boyfriend and his wife. And they're just like deadpan staring at us, like as in like bopping to the music. And we're like, yeah, this is really good. It was insane. Like, to this day, I'm like, did that actually fucking happen?
So Stone Cold Steve Austin would have been another one of my heroes as I grew up.
He's terrifying. He just sat there. He was just like deadpan the whole time. He didn't really give us much, but
I can't believe.
Mental.
I cannot believe.
And you know what? We decided to leave. He said to me, look, I'm meeting an agent tomorrow. So
what?
Obviously we're in Jeremy Renner's house. We could just stay on.
What?
But
what?
Stop it.
What? That was his thing.
I know. I used to watch it. But he didn't do that. He was very quiet. So he was like, we got to go. Like, we have to just get out of here. Like, let's be professional and tell them, oh, we have to leave early. About 10 minutes before we left, the doorbell rang and all the women arrived.
Oh,
and
God.
They arrived with substances and we were like, okay, this is our time to leave. But I think things could have got very wild. Very wild.
Stone Cold Steve Austin. I mean, I'm over Jeremy Renner now.
Oh, no, I wasn't. I couldn't believe it. At the time as well, I had only just got into radio and he had, funnily enough, no interest in talking to my boyfriend about the acting. He kept trying to bring it up and then he just kept shooting it down. He's like, so what do you do? And I was like, well, I actually work in radio in Ireland. And he was like, why do you work in radio in Ireland? Why don't you work here? I was like, yeah, no, I'll do that. I mean, I would love to do that. And I kept saying it. I was like, if you have any way in, I am available. But anyway, long story short, we headed off. Things got messy. And I did that really embarrassing thing where like we were both in shock leaving the place, right? The next day, you turn delusional and think you're friends with these people. And I went home and I was like, I'm going to add him. I'm going to add him and thank him for his hospitality. He's got like 1 million, probably like 10 million followers. Didn't see the message, obviously. Didn't follow me back because he doesn't know who I am. But yeah, I have the picture to prove it.
Wow.
Insane.
I mean, wow.
We did ask for that one picture.
Yeah. And I would have asked Stone Cold to give me the stunner.
I didn't get a picture with him.
I would have insisted he stood there and stunned me.
I think you would have got kicked out. Like, genuinely.
Like, hi, Mr. Austin, could I just bother you ever so just could you just give me the stunner? Like,
at no point did I even say, oh, hi, I know you, Stone Cold. Like, I acted like I didn't know the man. I was like, hi. Yeah. He didn't want to have any conversation with us, which was absolutely fine. But I just felt like if I fangirled at all, I'd be gone. Like, there was no mention of them being famous or the movies they were in or what they've done in their life or the wrestling that I watch day in, day out with my brothers. I had to sit there and pretend that we're all the same. We are all sitting there. It was just mad.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Good Lord.
Now, when we asked for the picture, things had gotten messy, and like Jeremy had pulled his trousers down, and
oh no,
he turned around,
no.
and then his friend was like, "Oh, like, can we just get one of you, like, as in standing sober?" So he's shit faced, but it looks like everything's fine.
Oh dear.
Yeah. But can you beat that?
Well, no.
Isn't that absolutely crazy?
I mean, like, I've had. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Like, we were there for 2 weeks. That happened on day 3.
Like, I had other, like, interview mishaps lined up to talk about, but I don't really, like, nothing can, one might come, I don't, but like Stone Cold Steve Austin, like, for fuck's sake. So, again, in the infancy of my sports reporting career.
Yeah.
I was on the media mailing list for Irish Rugby. I had gotten on with them and I was going out to their press conferences and all that sort of stuff. I was in community radio at the time. I wasn't even in proper station. And so I went to do this press conference. It was before a match. I think it was like before, like, actually, it was before we played Wales for the Grand Slam match in 2009. That was
big.
That was a pretty big fucking game. And so you do the press conferences, and then you get like like mixed in the sort of the radio pool. You'd get like 2 or 3 players or whatever. And there was a point where we had just gotten a player, I can't remember, Jamie Heaslip or something like that, and everybody had gone off to file Jamie Heaslip back to their news desks and whatever. And like, I had no news desk, so I was just standing there. The next person in, another hero of mine.
Yeah.
Ronan O'Gara.
Yes.
Right. I adore Ronan O'Gara. And I've had the pleasure of interviewing him a couple of times since. But anyway, so Ronan comes into the room and he's sitting down, and I look at the press officer and I said, "Look, the lads are gone." I said, like, "Can I start?" He goes, "Yeah, sure, why not?" So I walk over. I'm at the other side of the room.
Did you blank again?
No.
Okay,
Definitely didn't blank. And in my head, I was going, don't blank. But what did I do? I stepped on my shoelace.
Oh, no, you fell over. You fell over your foot.
I fell over my foot. Not only did I fall over my foot,
did you fall on?
I fell into him.
Oh, wow.
Onto his legs.
Oh.
He was sitting down. I fell into his lap.
Did he pick you up or?
So, you know that sort of moment where like something really, really terrible happens to you and you're kind of frozen in time thinking, who saw that? What happened? And how do I get out of this gracefully?
Yes.
So that was my thing. I was like, who saw that? The fucking world's media that were there saw that.
As in, is this live on TV?
No.
Okay, it wasn't good.
So I stood, I got onto my knees and I looked at Ronan and he went, "How are you?" And I went, "Oh my fucking God. This is your fucking hero." And I look around. Brian O'Driscoll is in a corner. He was doing an interview with RTE Radio. He was in this corner dying laughing.
Oh, stop.
He was like, you know when you go down the wall?
Yes.
And he was like scrunching down the wall laughing so hard.
Oh God, that is
and
so bad.
The media, the press officer was like, jaw
was
dropped.
Ronan like,
Ronan
don't worry about it.
Ronan was cool. Ronan didn't say, I'm sure he must have thought, what the fuck was that? But
he didn't say anything.
Didn't say anything. And, interview continued. I was like, I cannot believe you have, like, in your first meeting with Ronan O'Gara, you've just completely fucked it for yourself. You will never be good at anything in your life.
You are just not cut out for interviewing people.
Oh no, but I do great interviews.
But like being
every
there,
interview since.
Just don't be there. You're gonna fall. You're gonna stop.
And actually, the last one I'll talk about. Speaking of Brian O'Driscoll, it was his testimonial, right, when he was retiring. And he had this massive event in the convention centre in Dublin. Massive event. Everybody was there. Everybody who was everybody.
Because he was huge.
He was massive.
Yeah.
So on the green carpet, because he played for Ireland, the fucking green carpet, So I'm standing there hoping to do interviews because there was a big weekend coming up. I think we were actually to play the All Blacks. And so I was obviously there to interview the players, him, and whatever. So like there were these people sort of filtering through, and fucking every fucking hack from up and down the country was there, and entertainment hacks, and you know, what shoes are you wearing, and fucking all of this sort of shit.
What brand is that? What designer?
That sort of shit really bugs me. Anyway, so I'm standing there, and I see Niall Quinn, who played football for Ireland, and
a very tall man,
very very tall man. And I saw Niall and I went, oh, actually, there's a story about, you know, new Ireland manager coming in. And I was like, okay, we'll get Niall. And I said, Niall, could I have a quick word? And he comes over and, you know, shake his hand or whatever. And I'm chatting to him about, you know, who the new football manager could be. And we were going backwards and forwards. I was like, oh my God, I'm interviewing Niall Quinn. And so on he goes anyway. After the interview, I said, thank you very much. And off he went. And this girl with a fucking clipboard and a radio comes over to me and she goes, sorry, what was that?
Oh.
And I went, what was what? So like, that interview you just did? And I was like, this is the whole point of the green carpet event, is that you interview people. Yeah, sound bites only.
Oh.
And I went,
oh wow.
What? I said, I haven't fucking come here to soundbite only. I said, there was nobody else here. I said, there was nobody else looking for him. Yeah, but like that was like 6 minutes long, and Niall's wife is standing over there with a drink in her hand. And I went, do you want me to get her a drink?
You should have.
That's not my job. I said, that's fucking, if anybody's job, that's fucking your job to make sure that Niall Quinn's wife has a drink in her hand.
Sorry. I love the way that's the important thing.
They're going, so like, why is it my fault that Niall Quinn's wife doesn't have a fucking drink in her hand?
That's hilarious. So you're standing there fighting with this girl.
Fighting about fucking the 6 minutes. Meanwhile, somebody else on the fucking, like, 15 minutes had gone by with this entertainment hack. But of course, you have to fucking bow to the entertainment hacks because they're fucking as well. And so, like, I'm there going, like, what the fuck has just happened? And I'm texting the boss and I'm going, you'll never believe what's just happened. I said, I've got Niall Quinn, by the way, but you've never believe what I had to go through to get it. So I'm standing there going, okay, like that was just fucking weird. And off she fucking waddled in her 10-inch heels. And so I'm there. So Cian Healy was next.
Yeah.
To come up. And I said, oh, Cian, and like Cian knew me because I was out, I did the Leinster stuff and have had Cian in the past. So he comes over to me, he says, oh, how's it going? And I was like, grand. So I was interviewing him about the All Blacks game coming up, and obviously about Brian and how much of an influence Brian was, but all the All Blacks, whatever. Then this other entertainment hack comes in the middle. We were having this great interview. In the middle of this interview, I can't remember who he would have been going. Would it have been Holly Carpenter?
Oh, Cian Healy. Possibly around that time.
Around that time, I think it was Holly Carpenter. And there was something, now, because I obviously don't read entertainment pieces, there was something that Cian Healy bought Holly a pair of shoes.
Yeah.
That had somehow made it into media because
I think Holly is an influencery person, so she would have been known. Yeah.
So somehow, anyway, this makes it into the thing that Cian Healy buys a pair of shoes. And the hack comes in with her phone and she goes, like, did you know what sort of pair of shoes to get her, or did she have to tell you?
Oh.
And Cian looked at me and went, I just got them. And looked at me and said, sorry, Dan, I'm off.
Stop, did he?
And I looked at her, and she was fucking delighted with herself.
No.
And I looked at her and I said, what the fuck?
But you know what?
Is this what these people like actually genuinely go through their heads? What, like, did Cian Healy have to ask her for a pair of shoes?
Excuse me now, I would be sitting in a hairdresser's, and that's what I want to read in the magazine.
Is it though?
Yeah. Like I say,
I can't believe
I
that's how these people make fucking money.
I don't think nowadays, but I can laugh now about it. But like back then, that's the shit that you'd want to see in the paper. Or like in the magazine.
That Cian Healy needed help buying a pair of shoes?
Yeah.
I know, come on.
Oh yeah, that'd be of interest.
I'm actually
so I can understand
talking about it.
Yeah. They didn't care about the rugby question. They wanted to know about the heels.
And I'm there going, oh my God in heaven. And like there were people doing interviews for like 15 and 20 minutes with people, and Miss fucking Attitude with her clipboard comes over and goes, what was that?
Yeah, he's there. He spent all his years playing rugby, getting to the stage he's at, you know, national team.
Yeah.
And that's the important question. I mean, I'm here for that. I'm here for that. And you know what? I'm here for her clipboard as well. I'd say, I want to know, did you find out what her heels were? Because that's what's interesting.
Oh, good Lord in heaven. And I thought, you know what? I could never fucking do this. I could never be one of those people.
But at least you're not.
No.
Okay, you're not.
Definitely not.
You don't have to deal with that anymore.
I think I've just destroyed every career prospect I may ever have in the future.
Sherlock, we all have, okay? It's fine.
Anyway, before I get myself in trouble, that has been episode 22 of Tragic 2. You can follow us and do all the rest of those bits and pieces up on our Instagram page at Tragic2Pod. But until next time, have yourselves a good one.
Bye.